Something like that, yeah. Hey, welcome everybody to Innervision FM. We are here again, bringing you the shocking and crazy news of the world. Some music, some otherwise. I had some other stories from Babylon, but for some reason the AI didn't catch it, so I didn't feel what's going over it. But we're going to talk about it though. Hey, and also remember to like, share. Also, you can enter in our raffle to win either a coffee mug, Innervision FM coffee mug, or you can win one of our t-shirts, or you win one of our hoodies. So go ahead and enter and get your entry in, and you can enter as many times you can. Just remember, every time you enter, just donate $7 and boom, you could be a winner. So anyway, let's get into the show today. This is fantastic. And how are my two guys doing? Has it been
Couldn't be
raining?
better if today was yesterday. Speaking of yesterday, today is tomorrow. When you're talking about the Philippines, so it's bright and early in the Philippines, and we got Hey Joe with us. He's our resident time traveler. I'm Alan C. Today on Innervision FM News, we've got a lot of wow. We've got a lot of stuff to cover. Where do we want to start? First off,
I want to talk about the rogue judges and them now that the space that you do know. This is what I heard. Elon Musk, he could have sent Musk rocket ship up there to get those guys down, but he didn't want to give anybody on the Trump team a win, right? So therefore,
I think it's actually more than that. I think Biden prevented him from going up.
All they had to go
No,
over to was the local pool and haul them out.
now I can't say, but it is interesting how they did get left up there for about 6 months almost. Don't.
and
Well, there's guys in submarines that are there for 9 months a year.
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
now tell me,
Submarine,
they
in
keep talking.
submarine.
They keep talking about, yeah, they keep talking about her hair. What is going on? Is it like floating in space or something?
Well, they got it all ratted out so it looks like it's floating in space.
Well,
I've got to figure like if you have no gravity.
That's so much horse crap.
why don't one of you folks in the Innervision FM universe toss a comment down below? What do you guys see when you look at the pictures of these? The splashdown happened what, earlier today, right?
That's the
Oh,
one
okay.
that dropped out of the plane, right?
Yeah.
You know, I used to be so into the space thing and all on board with all of it. Then I woke up. It's like
And
I
that's
don't even like Star Trek anymore because it's so fake.
Yeah.
You mean the newer one is like, what did they do? What did they do?
The
I
new
play a
Star
game
Trek,
on
they
Steam
destroyed
called it
Star
Space
Trek.
Engineers, and that's beginning to bore me because none of it can work anyway.
Oh man.
I'm not a cynic by any means, huh?
Right?
Yeah.
The older we get, the more woke up we get. Not woke, but woken up. Toss a comment down below. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe. We've got a lot of stuff, like I said, to cover.
Oh man. Yeah.
Wow, dude. The activist judges really do take the cake. What do you folks think about the idea that there's a district judge who is trying to pull rank on the commander in chief of the armed forces and or
Yeah, the
basically
chief and
hamper.
commander, he's in charge of protecting, well, usually the Congress as well is in charge of protecting the citizens of the United States. Now, Biden, he negated that protection by flying all these criminals in. Now we have to, there's a new sheriff in town, and we as Caroline said, and now the new sheriff is getting all these banditos out.
It's almost like we're living in two different realities because I look at both sides of the news, and you know what what these folks are melting down about truly is a shift in their own reality. For the longest time,
President has supreme authority.
Yeah.
well,
Judges don't have any authority to rule over him. They have
Yeah.
no Supreme Court as well. They have no, for him to do a lawful order, Supreme Court can't even stop it.
you
Yeah.
know, as long as the order is lawful, and I think I was pointing this out to Johnny just before the show, the reason why in the judicial world things are called opinions is because they're just that. They're opinions.
Opinion.
They're meant to be
They're
held
like
up
parts
by,
of the body that stink. Everybody's got one.
Yeah.
they're meant to be held up by statute. They're meant to be held up by precedent, but they're not meant to be, what do you call that? Where, oh man, you cannot have the judicial be over the executive. You cannot have the executive over the judicial either. You cannot have the third branch trying to run roughshod over the other two. And this whole thing has become a mess.
And it's almost like they're treating him like, okay, it's because he's not a politician, that he has to report to this jerk in a robe, as if he's the head teacher or whatever. Oh, I'm going to show him how to run the country, and he didn't get elected for anything. They appointed this guy. So it's like,
what is interesting is the Chief Justice of the Supreme Court did come down on their side and basically said, hey, you know, we can't impeach these guys. Oh, there's no reason why you can't.
Yeah,
You cannot have a national security.
You can impeach him.
yeah,
You cannot have a national security risk in the potential amount of folks that could have done harm.
You know, the Supreme Court, if they're going to allow these chief justices, if they're going to allow citizens to be put in harm's way, that's treason.
Yeah.
yeah.
There's no doubt about it. That's treason, and they can be impeached over that, and they can go to prison too.
Yeah, I like to see
Get
him.
out of prison term.
Well, this whole
you ever
this
heard
whole
that song, "When You're Hot, You're Hot"? And
yeah, this whole thing, when you're hot, you're hot.
When you're not, you're not.
When the guy at the end, he says, "Hey, I like to take you in the back, oh good old boy, and I'll show you." That was a good song, man. You guys gotta, if you get a chance, look at that song.
Toss a comment down below. What do you guys think about this whole mess with the stuff that is going on? I mean, what are your plans for this country? Because it's only through the power of prayer that we will even prevail. And actually, I was thinking about this the other day as I was suffering through my meager existence on this planet. And I was thinking, you know, we're not actually here to prevail. We're only here to occupy. Our God is an awesome God, and He works in mighty and great ways, and His ways are higher. But
We're here to plant seeds.
Yeah,
yep,
Plant
just
seeds. We're not here to change hearts. We're here to plant seeds.
that's right.
yeah.
That's right.
And you know what would be kind of cool? It's like, okay, I know, like, you know, they brought Lake and Whitey's mother and sister, and they brought the other lady who's in her daughter got uh, interrupted. Her life got interrupted by these banditos. But I was wondering, like, these 200 guys that they got, it would be great for a real reporter to go back into the neighborhood and say, how do you feel now that these army of banditos are not in the neighborhood running rampage over you guys anymore? Now that would be cool, and we wouldn't have to run it on the what did they call it? Legacy media. We could run it on these other podcasts.
And
That
that
would
would
be
be
cool.
interesting to get real-time interviews with folks from neighborhoods that were affected by some of these. Well, they have been labeled as foreign terrorists, that kind of thing. It'd be interesting because I was just 9 miles away from there. I was slated to go a block or two from the very complexes that were allegedly affected. And well, God had other plans.
You mean in Aurora?
Yeah,
Oh yeah.
yeah.
Now I know they did get this one lady. She didn't speak English, and I forgot if Jeff Hunt on KNUS interviewed her or if it was someone else. But I remember seeing an interview with her, and she was saying she's so relieved that they shut that thing down and got
Oh,
those
yeah.
people out of there.
Oh, yeah.
Right? So I think we need a lot more of those uh, to combat the left who brings them in and say just so they could be a voting pot, and maybe they're thinking that, oh, they're not going to understand that we're causing the problem. They're just going to want us to come and be and rescue them. But it was no rescuing them from these banditos that they brought in. And I don't even know if even Joe would have did it if he could have. Well, no, he couldn't have continued. If Kamala, I know she wouldn't have did because she didn't do nothing down there at the border. So never mind.
He even went to the border.
Yeah, so never mind. Never mind. Oh
You
man.
know, if you look back just a short 20 years ago, um, not quite, you know, uh, not quite into 2002, but just into just 2001, you know, you got the 21st century ahead of you. And, you know, you look forward and you think to yourself, what's it going to be like? Are there going to be the flying cars? Are there going to be a
Hmm.
better society? Is it going to be the way the Bible says it's going to be? Is it the way that the New Agers? I mean, see, you look forward, but you never even realize, my gosh, man, the world's going to change in such fundamental ways to where you won't even recognize it. Just over the space of 20, 25 years.
Yeah, a lot of stuff have come out there that is like, it would have been like a part of the science fiction movies. And then you even wonder like Men in Black, like some of that stuff could even some of that stuff exist because that 20-year-old who tried to commit that assassination in Buckley, why did they cremate him that quickly?
That's a
You
really
know,
good question.
it's like, why don't you just put the body there, bury it, whatever, and just in case if we need to resume it, but they cremated it quickly to get rid of all evidence.
Yeah, it's very interesting. And, you know, I wonder if we'll ever get to the bottom of that. We probably will because Dan Bongino himself was covering that kind of stuff. So
Now, okay, today, Trump was supposed to release the 85,000 pages. I was going to ask AI, give me, I was going to say specific pointers about, was there one gun? Was there two guns? Was it in the grassy knoll? Was it in the library? Because I mean, if you've been around for a while,
Look at
you
the
know the
driver.
questions. And I was just going to have AI cut through all the crap, give me one page. That's all I want. I want 85,000 or 8,500 pages of the 85,000. I just want one page. Boom. These are the points.
So once upon a time, John F. Kennedy became president, got into a limo,
Oh, 8,000.
and blam.
Yeah. So I just want to see.
You know,
Yeah.
a band out of England in the
Tom
80s
says that he will be not make a shot.
wrote a song called Dallas 1 p.m.
Wait, which band?
Um,
Wait a minute. Give me the name of the song again.
it's called Dallas 1 p.m.
Play Dallas 1 p.m. Okay. Oh, 2009 remastered.
Yeah, that's a remaster of this.
Shoot. And this dumb phone is not playing it. It just told me. Oh, here it is. Here it is. Got a nice beat to it.
Mhm.
So this is what they're telling the story about the Kennedy assassination.
Yeah.
Long intro.
Yeah, it's got a long intro.
Gotta wonder how that does shake out, whether all of our theories end up coming true, or what exactly happens.
You know what I heard? I heard why America gets into so many wars or changing this regime is because they're trying to get ahead of stopping another Hitler from happening.
Well, I think maybe that started out like that, where you
But-
want to kind of cap people from being too powerful and things like this. Might have started out like that, but then I honestly think a couple people got together and said, "Hey, let's run it this way instead."
Hmm.
And they've been doing that for a while. What do you folks in the Innervision FM universe think? Hey, on a lighter note, we've got some music news. Closing times in the news with
Oh,
their
yes.
stuff, and we're gonna cover that. Closing time is written by a band called Semisonic.
Yeah.
I never knew the name of the band. I just know
Semisonic.
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 Huh?
Yeah.
Semisonic.
Yep.
Semisonic.
Semisonic.
Yeah.
Semisonic.
I used to love playing that song at the end of the night because, you
Yeah.
know, she would
It
say,
was a-
okay,
Catchy song for 5 minutes.
yeah. Oh, definitely, definitely. And it was like, you know, you get in the mic, you talk over it, and then it comes back up. And it was just it was just one of those good rocking songs, you know. Yeah,
Yep,
so
it's one of those good old songs, and so
but
they're
have you seen the ICE advertisement?
When we put in all our lists, that should be our standard. Yeah, again and again, I
Look at
choose
there.
Pure
Oh,
Foods corned beef.
now what is this one
Weekend,
talking?
expertly crafted map.
Sorry.
Oh, is it giving a recipe or something?
No, it's a stupid commercial. I was looking up a song on YouTube.
Ah,
The commercial come on.
yeah, I can't focus in on the lyrics because the lyrics is stuff. So I put it on pause. I'm gonna get back to it though. But yeah, and so this song, I mean, I think it came out in 1998. And I don't know how I got a hold of it so quickly. Maybe I heard it on a radio station and I said, I got to get that song and just get it like playing in the club. And but you know, it worked for what it was working. But have any of you like heard about what's in this little advertisement from ICE? I heard people getting locked up. I heard the people that flew back over there to that other country. They shaved off their hair, their beards, put them in t-shirts and shorts. Oh, and then paid the country I think it was $6 million. So it's your problem now. And here's a little cash that here's a tip to take care of it.
Wow.
Crazy
So-
world we live in.
Here's the
Yeah.
lyrics for the song, Johnny.
Huh?
Here's the lyrics for that song. It's in chat.
Oh, wait a minute, wait a minute. Wait, read some of the words. Read some of the words.
I just sent it now.
Oh, wait. Let's see if I
In
see if I
chat.
can. Hold on, let me see if I can find it. Oh, wow. Let's see if I can find it here. Oh, I got to get back over to Zoom. Okay, okay. Oh, no wonder I couldn't hear because I wasn't over here. You sent it over here?
Zoom meeting. Zoom more
Oh,
points.
come on.
Join button unavailable. Zoom meeting. To move to an item, press the arrow keys. Zoom meeting. View button. Custom live streaming service button. AI features are enabled button. Meeting security. Leave. Alt Q button. More meeting controls button. More options for chat button. Open chat panel. Alt H
Okay.
button. Press more options.
Here
for
we
participants.
go. Yeah. Here we go.
Open chat. More options for chat button menu.
A clouded. Wait a
Alt
minute.
H button. Press.
Oh man, it's not gonna let me go one by word. Let me see if it. Oh, here we go. I like this.
Provide meeting controls.
Oh, come on, read. Oh. Okay.
Meeting chat. Time
Okay, that one it says assassins run. Is he dead? No one will say. Around the world, the news was flash. We sat and watched your tragic history. The world was shocked. That fateful day. A young man's life was blown away. Away in Dallas, 1 p.m. Oh, it's around 1 p.m.? Oh, okay. Songwriters was a G. Oliver.
P. Byford,
And-
P. Gill,
Big Al.
P.
Yeah.
Quinn, S. Dawson. It's Saxon is the band name.
Saxon.
Saxon. They're still touring. They're old guys now, but they're still touring.
Oh, yeah?
They were a drug-free band.
Oh, that's
Wow,
cool.
okay. Like Ted Nugent.
Yeah,
Matter of fact, I heard an interview with him. He's now 76,
yeah.
and I guess his wife is doing this podcast. And man, this guy's a busy man. He's
Yeah.
not.
Yeah. Got his ranch, got his stuff going on.
And I don't know about you, man, but even when I did eat meat, I don't know if I would have eaten squirrel. It's just
Squirrel's
Yeah.
good. We used to hunt squirrel
Okay.
all the time when we were kids.
Yeah, it's
I don't know.
okay.
Tastes like
Just have to
chicken.
Cook it right.
I guess you have to cook it right.
It does taste like chicken. I mean, but there's many things that taste like chicken. I mean, squirrels are rodent, like rats.
Yeah.
Right.
Now I think I ate like a wild deer one time. I don't know. I just didn't. I don't know. Maybe because it was
Yeah,
wild.
venison is something you got to get used to.
Yeah.
See, elk, I don't like elk. I don't like.
Oh,
the
really?
taste.
I like elk.
See.
I like deer, venison.
Yeah,
Yeah.
see, I like them all. I
Ask Mike
like them all.
Johnson, is it was really him send you friend request in Facebook or it was fake?
Oh, she asked me, was it really you who sent me a friend request, or was it a fake?
It was me.
It was
Because
him.
my other account
Yeah.
got hacked.
Yeah. His other one
My
got
other account
hacked.
got hacked.
You can accept it. You can accept
They
it. Okay.
changed my name to Margaret Mickelson.
Oh man,
What?
crazy.
A friend here was having way too much fun saying, "So here's a karate legend turned transvestite."
Holy crap.
Oh man, that's
He
crazy.
said, a legend in my own mind, maybe. He said, no, if you've been in martial arts for over 50 years, they consider you a legend. It's like, oh, okay.
Oh,
Oh man. Gee.
Pretty funny.
So you have to develop a 20-word password now, so they can really have to work at it to get it. Jeez.
right.
Phrase works. Simple phrase with some other characters in it.
Yeah.
it's pretty hard to figure
Oh
that
yeah.
out, especially if you
Kanye
don't know
West is
anything
also
about
in the news.
Yeah.
Kind of interesting with
it. Yeah.
I guess he created and then deleted the song just as quick as I'm
Yeah,
like,
and
get
then he
that
put it.
out of there.
It was another place I heard the song, right? I guess something about Kim Kardashian. She was upset because she put a patent on the kid's stage name, or I don't know if that's a real name or a stage name, and something about she didn't want them to have access to it until they were 18, and something about I guess when he puts out a song with them, he may have to get permission from her, or it sounded like, it's like one of these things like, she wanted a little bit of control over the stuff that they were that he was having the kids put out so she can cross it off. But he said the hell with that. Yeah, I'm the dad. I'm gonna do what I do. And I'm this rapper, and you're who you are, and I'm who I am. So I,
Wow.
I went to listen to the song, and I guess in the first part it's an audio thing of Ye talking to P Daddy in jail over the phone, right? And he's recording the conversation. And so he's just saying, you were my mentor before I even knew you. Because if you read the story, he kept going to the the company that Jay no, forget that. Forget about P. Diddy. He went to the company that Jay-Z owned, and he kept going, and they just wanted to use him as a writer, not a rapper. But as far as like how got connected with uh P Daddy or whatever his name is, I'm not exactly sure. P Diddy, I'm not exactly sure how that came in, because at that point I was just interested in how he got with Jay-Z on that record company, but I wasn't interested in how he hooked up with these other guys to do stuff. So it's like, so somebody knows out there, if you know, leave a comment in the comment section. Uh, so anyway, so then she starts to do her rap. Then this other guy that I guess put together the beat and mixed it, he had his little part where he came in, and I'm not sure if that was Ye doing most of the rapping, or if it was his son doing some of the stuff. But yeah, it's I'm sure you guys can find it, and it's this big thing about. So every time if you use her name, I guess she gets paid.
That sounds about right.
Yeah.
It's going to be an interesting time when all this type of stuff is done away with, where payment for goods and services is no longer required.
Yeah.
The heavenly kingdom.
Yeah. But I wonder if that will hold up in China, though, since they still are intellectual stuff anyway.
Yeah, that's an interesting thing. TikTok ban is coming up soon, unless
yeah.
they come up with a good deal to keep it open. I'm sure they will. So
I heard some buyers were stepping up to the plate to it was this guy, I think I don't know if he owned a basketball team or a baseball team, but he was talking about he wanted to, gather up some more financiers to buy. And then I think Trump said something about China has to be involved with this. But
Yeah.
if they said that they have nothing to do with it, why don't they have to be involved with it?
But it was Chinese propaganda that started it.
Yeah, but because the guy was saying, "Hey, China has nothing to do with how we run our." But I said, but if you're from China, they have a grip on all the businesses that are in
any
China.
of the infrastructure used to transmit any of the data comes out of China. So come on, China's got to be involved.
Yeah. So, and then there was this other program that came out, and they banned it from any government phones, and I forgot exactly what it was, but it was like a AI that came out of China. And so they said, no, we don't want any of our government people to use this.
See, with China, you got to make a big distinction. It's not China, it's the CCP.
CCP, okay, the government, the CCP, yeah.
Yeah.
China, most of the people in China, there's no, it's just like everywhere else. It's not the people of the country, it's the
Right.
governments of the country.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, thanks for making that distinction. The
Yeah.
CCP, yeah.
Like
So
Marco or like Duterte getting hauled off to Hague in front of the International Criminal Court.
Yeah.
They didn't have
That
to let
is-
him go there, and they let him anyway.
Yeah.
I mean, that's Marcos. Marcos has been trying to get him off for a long time. I think we're going to see martial law here soon.
Marshall,
Martial law.
why would they do that though?
Because the people are making an uprising about Duterte being extradited.
Yeah.
Because they really like what he was doing?
What? He did exactly what he said he was going to do. He
Okay,
went
so
a
he
little
kept
bit
his
too
word.
far with it, and his police did a lot more than they should have. But he did exactly what he said he was going to do: get rid of the drug trade.
Yeah.
Hmm.
But now the International Criminal Court, they didn't want their drug dealers being taken down, so now they're going to put him in,
That's
prison.
what I'm saying. Supply is usually for the people that want it. Because I have a feeling that this is a big problem internationally, especially here in America, where there's so many of these pills and the coke. It's almost like if we were to get a hold of ourselves mentally and stop buying the stuff, then that would dry up the cartel and everything. If it would just sit there and nobody.
Who's the U.S. entity that's doing all this? CIA,
CIA, FBI, CIA.
not FBI, but CIA.
Hmm.
They do all this for money. I mean,
Hmm.
they ran the poppy fields in Afghanistan.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm just thinking like, because I remember what's that movie? Straight Outta Compton. And then I heard some of the people that were talking about that. And this one rapper said one day overnight, they laid all these weapons, and then these gangs just came, grabbed them up. Now, if they would have just took those weapons, put them on the Capitol step and say, stop messing with us. But they just couldn't resist because now they have even better tools to run their cartel.
It's like back in the 80s, the Iran-Contra affair.
Hmm.
Yeah. Nothing's
Same
changed.
stuff.
Just
Gun runners. That's CIA. They've been doing that for decades.
yeah.
Yeah. And I'm thinking like even at Afghanistan wasn't on purpose. Because here you had, once again, Trump, that's one of the politicians, he says, take our equipment out. And this other, he called him a stupid colonel, said, well, it'd be too expensive. And so he had to get rid of this guy, get him out of his office because he said this guy was an idiot. But it's almost like business as usual. You're saying like, leave it over there. Those guys will grab it, then they'll start using it against whatever their enemies are. Then
They sold
You
most
continue.
of it off.
yeah, well, yeah.
Terrorist groups.
It's like this is just like a big game with these people, and even
It
though
is.
it's involving lives because they have immunity, they just keep going on. What is that meeting like when you go into these parts of government and they say, "Hey, if you make a mistake, don't worry about it." This is part of the business.
Yeah, I can't say as we will be able to continue that way. So hopefully some things will get cleaned up. Speaking of getting cleaned up a little bit, ceasefire on the horizon, hopefully in the Ukraine between
Yes,
Putin and
that's supposed to happen.
Zelensky.
We were supposed to hear some
Actors
news
don't
about
want
that
it.
today.
Zelensky wants war. He doesn't want anything to do with peace.
Yeah, he didn't want
He's
nothing.
being run
He's
by
the
deep
actor.
staters, and he's pushing for war.
Yeah.
Because if the war ceased, then they have to vote. And what if
He has to lose his power if they do that.
Yeah.
But as things stand, I think they were supposed to. I haven't seen an update, but I think they're supposed to do a limited ceasefire on critical infrastructure, things like oil, energy. Can't hit that, but the whole thing's silly. Whole thing
Yeah.
is just silly.
I know it. It's like, but yeah, we shall see. We'll know within 24 hours. And like I said, I'm gonna go to chat and lock in the the Kennedy file, and will Robert F. Kennedy come out and say, "Hey, I've been waiting for this for years." That's a lot of reading. Like I said,
Hundreds of pages.
I'm gonna cut through all that stuff because I don't want to read that much. I got a life.
That's right.
I'll let-
It's coming down to that song by REM, "The End of the World as We Know It."
And
Oh, yeah?
that's really what it boils down to is everything that's going down right now. The flood of never stopping something, always something, always something. It's because these are birth pains. And
Wait till they take the chains off evil.
yeah,
It hadn't even begun yet.
no, it hasn't even started, but there is hope, at least while there's hope. While today is
Yeah.
called today, make your choice. That choice is easy. 1 Corinthians chapter 15 is the best way to do that. And really,
Yeah.
just jump into the Bible, jump into the Word. That's the best way to
Yeah.
really start the process. You just form a relationship with him.
Yeah.
Just let him move into your life. Let him take over. Really surrender everything to him, because this stuff here is temporal. It's going to grow strangely dim over the next.
And we were talking about this before the show. Remember, okay, like, because when I go in the mornings to the church, I'm sitting around this group of people, and I could tell that they're around this bubble of these people that they want to go along to get along.
Right.
And so they're so like, oh, it's terrible. And then what I just did was just pointing out scriptures that would, like when they were talking about the Gaza thing, and this guy kept asking me, what should we do about that? I said, well, if you raise your children to hate another group of people, but your religion teaches you to love your God with all your heart and to treat your neighbor as yourself, eventually you're gonna have to share that with those other people. And because there's St. Petersburg, there are Jews and these gods, and they are able to coexist. Now, why can't they do that in this piece of the country? Because some of it's intimidation. Because if you don't go along to get along, you can get shot, killed, whatever. I mean, they'll attack you, torture you, whatever. So they keep that strong atmosphere of you got to go along to keep along. But but some people will break out of that. And so you just have to just keep, giving them the scripture a bit. So as Christians in this country, we're not going along to get along. Because as soon as I say like changing mice, boy mice and the girl mice, I said, no, I don't agree with that. So, okay, then keep that mindset going, because it's a bunch of stuff you won't go along with, but you're trying to go along to get along. So I was like, really wild. And sometimes it's hard to stand up, but yeah, in the end, it works out.
Well, he doesn't promise us smooth sailing. I think it's really all it boils down to. He does promise us a safe landing. And so Christ being the only way, the way, the truth, and the life.
Yes. And the life
Keep in
isn't
mind, there is hope.
and the life isn't a green donut from Crispy Donuts. Did you get a?
I
Did
sure
you
would
get
love
your?
a green donut from Krispy Kreme, even if it was a day old.
Oh man. Oh, by the way, I went to that St. Patrick's Day. Ours was 3 hours long, and we thought that was long. But in New York, it was 6 hours long.
6 hours.
What do
Yeah,
you do for 6 hours? I mean, you go away, get lunch, come back.
right.
It was hard enough with that 3 hours because it was like, is that it? Because you had that little space while the other group is coming up. And I said, 3 hours. I said, so I don't know if we're the second largest or maybe the third largest, but it was pretty interesting. So I only put 13 minutes. I had a bunch of clips, but I said, I'll do a short 3 minute, then I do a longer 13 minute, and that's it. So look through some of our files and that if you want more, I'll give it to you. But if you don't say nothing, that's all you're gonna get.
Stay tuned to Innervision FM. Don't forget, there's ways you can help out with funding the embattled
Yeah.
Artist who happens to be recording stuff, musicians, blah, blah, blah. I would just try to help out where we can.
Yeah.
Don't forget the contest. All of
Yeah.
the stuff in the description below. I'm trying to be vague so that the algorithms don't cry and whine, because if you go, oh, this, that, and the other, and blah, blah, blah,
Yeah.
just check out the description below. And if you're so led and so moved to help out folks that are physically disabled or financially challenged, or both, that are trying to create some music and a better way to try to combat the 70 to 90% unemployment rate. Social Security has given a bunch of people a hard time. Things are changing. 47 field offices nationwide are slated to close, and a lot of programs are set to go away. They should have never been created in the first place.
Yep, this is
It
true.
creates dependence.
Did you hear about the post office? They were kind of figure out, okay, every year, every 10 years they do the census. And so they said, how can we make the post office more efficient? And they said, instead of hiring a bunch of people to do the census, which costs a lot of money, why don't we just have the post office do it? Because they're there, they go to your house they go there 6 days a week.
Right.
They know how many people are there. Why can't they just do the census?
Right.
I never really thought about that. I just thought, well,
And
had
then people lost it when that came up. Oh, why don't we do it this way? They're like, whoa, wait, you can't. It's like they don't have a leg to stand on.
Sure, yeah.
You can't cut this department because
Yeah, we want to waste more money by hiring a bunch of people that we could do it more efficiently.
that's right.
Man, there was a lot of stuff in there. Anyway, we can go on and on, man. We're gonna call it a night, and I got to get everything prepared because I have a meeting at 2 o'clock tomorrow. So I'll get you guys the show notes before 1:30 tomorrow.
Sounds like a good plan.
Okay.
You guys
All right.
have a good night.
All right.
God bless. God bless, my brother. See everybody tomorrow, God willing.